The festive season is upon us, and with it comes the need for responsible behavior. So do not overindulge in spending or eating, and make sure you take note of your surroundings to ensure your safety. Hello, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. On the show today, we forge partnerships for sports development and build your awareness of the signs of trafficking in persons. So, please stay with us.
Holidays are here for us to enjoy ourselves, and the best thing to do is just try to relax, enjoy yourself. You know, don't really overdo it. Do everything in moderation and try to be as safe as possible. Take care of yourself and take care of the other persons next to you.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, December 7. Parliament has approved the first supplementary estimates for the 2017-2018 fiscal year. It increases the national budget by $89.9 billion, bringing the new total to $805.5 billion. Among the major new allocations is a $2 billion capital project for road repairs through the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. At the Office of the Prime Minister, initiatives to bolster youth employment, rural economic development, and public sector modernization also received increased allocations. The Ministry of National Security, meanwhile, is getting an additional $1.1 billion to implement new security initiatives, purchase vehicles and telecoms equipment, as well as construct and improve police stations and other buildings. And almost $285 million has been added to boost the Agricultural Competitiveness Program, promote climate change resilience in the fisheries sector, diversify livestock, and improve the banana industry. The government has issued an apology to the people of West Kingston for events during the May 2010 incursion by security forces. In line with recommendations from the West Kingston Commission of Inquiry, Prime Minister Andrew Holness delivered the apology in Parliament on Wednesday.
I stand here in this honourable House to unreservedly and unequivocally apologize to the people of Jamaica for the fear and uncertainty that defined that time, as each and every Jamaican was affected in some way or the other. To the people of West Kingston, and in particular the residents of Tivoli Gardens and Denham Town, who were most affected through loss of life and damage to property and the pain they endured by the violence that took place.
Mr. Holness also apologized to members of the security forces for the unprecedented levels of violence faced and for the loss of lives. A total of 73 lives were lost during the event. The Prime Minister said various arms of government had been identified to implement other recommendations from the Commission report.
In going forward as a country, we can't let that experience be for naught. It must define how we operate as a country going forward.
Mr. Holness also confirmed that his government would be resuming the bipartisan dialogue on national issues, which was initiated in 2006 to deal more specifically with crime and violence. The Prime Minister said the Vale Royal talks would return in the second week of January 2018, though it may not retain the same name. In the meantime, the zones of special operations in Mount Salem and Denham Town will continue for another 60 days after their originally scheduled end dates. The existing period of operation for Mount Salem, which had already been extended, will expire on December 29. Denham Town's initial operation ends earlier on December 15. On Wednesday, the House of Representatives approved the two resolution orders calling for the extensions, which were tabled by Prime Minister Andrew Holness earlier in the sitting. He said the decision was taken after consultation with the Security Force Joint Command in both areas. In an update on the operations, Mr. Holness says Mount Salem is now immersed in the third and final build phase of the operation.
During the build phase, the Joint Forces will maintain its focus by providing internal security for the zone, and with the help of the community will prevent the return of criminals and their influence. Additional efforts will also focus on maintaining a secure environment in order to allow the Social Intervention Committee to carry out the various projects in keeping with the government's intent for the community. Several social intervention activities are already underway in the community.
Denham Town is in the first clear phase and will soon transition to the hold phase of the operation.
Like Mount Salem, there have been significant gains in the Denham Town zone, and the outlook is promising.
The Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport has finalized and launched a 10-year National Strategic Action Plan to eliminate gender-based violence. The plan was launched in collaboration with the Bureau of Gender Affairs, a division within the ministry, and the High Commission of Canada.
The NSAP GBV focuses on 5 strategic priority areas: prevention, protection, intervention, legal procedures, and protocols for data collection.
Earlier this year, the Joint Select Committee of Parliament on the issue received submissions from the public.
The committee is set to reconvene shortly to review the recommendations and arrive at consensus regarding the way forward.
On Tuesday, Minister Grange also signed the UNDP Gender Equality Seal during the official launch of the International Certification Program at the Knutsford Court Hotel in Kingston. The program aims to address gender gaps in the workplace and create equitable conditions for both men and women. And finally, Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Information Service, Ian Boyne, is now out of the intensive care unit of the University Hospital of the West Indies and is recuperating well in the Tony Thwaites wing. Mr. Boyne was rushed to the hospital on Saturday, December 2 after falling ill. Having been informed of the outpouring of concern and well wishes expressed by many Jamaicans, the veteran journalist said he was deeply touched by the outpouring of love. The JIS's Deputy CEO says he is doing well and looking forward to writing more articles and resuming his other duties in the near future. In a statement released through the JIS, Mr. Boyne said he has been seeing his doctors regularly and paying attention to his diet and exercise routine and encourages everyone to do the same. He expressed gratitude to God for getting him through the frightening experience and thanked the team of exceptional doctors and nurses who worked with him in intensive care. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Jamaica has been making strides in the sporting arena in various disciplines, and the government intends to expand our reach. Through partnership with the government of China, coaches, athletes and administrators are to benefit from a coaching exchange program. This will improve our performance in swimming, volleyball and badminton, among others.
Athletes, coaches and sporting administrators are to benefit from an exchange program between the government of Jamaica and the People's Republic of China. A 3-year letter of exchange for a technical cooperation project on sport coaching was signed by both governments to facilitate the arrangement.
The government and people of China have agreed to send to Jamaica a team of coaches to work with 7 sporting disciplines: swimming, synchronized swimming, badminton, gymnastics, volleyball, football, and basketball. The assignment of coaches will commence in January of next year. In the first instance, the coaches will be in Jamaica for approximately 1 month. This will be the first of such programs which we will benefit from. And during the life of the project, Jamaica will send to China 138 athletes, in addition to coaches and other support personnel, where they will reside for about 2 months and will experience training and competition in China. The government of China will provide international air tickets round trip, training fees, accommodation, and meal for the Jamaican trainers, sports officials, and journalists within China. In addition, the Chinese government will be providing some training equipment for which we will facilitate entry into Jamaica. The value of this project being funded by the Chinese government is approximately $7 million United States dollars.
Under the agreement, the Jamaican government will ensure that all administrative requirements are in place for travel by the Chinese team to Jamaica.
We are expected to have a plan in place to ensure the project is effectively executed. Our special guests are well cared for and are secure. The coaches are being provided at the cost of the Chinese government.
By sharing what we have, we promote each other. I believe people are attaching great importance to sports exchanges because that is very critical to bridge the mutual understanding and friendship between people of different languages, different culture, different social values. With the signing today, I'm hopeful that early next year, these coaches will be able to come to this country to exchange and share their expertise in their respective areas with Jamaican athletes.
All these initiatives are part of a broader plan to position sport in Jamaica as one of the engines of economic growth and a tool in the fight against poverty.
I had a plan for my life. I was going to be a doctor. I was going to be the first in my family to do great things. Then a friend of mine sold me into prostitution. You mash up my life.
Stop human trafficking. It destroys lives. If you or anyone you know has been a victim of human trafficking, call 811 or 1-888-PROTECT. Be wise. Open your eyes. Spot them. Stop them. A message brought to you by the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons.
Up next, a word of caution. As you socialize, do not arrange to meet persons you meet on social media networks or random strangers, and carry out thorough checks regarding overseas job offers. These decisions may save you from being drawn into the web of human trafficking. Here are a few signs.
Michelle, what's Shana doing now like how she leaves school?
Nothing. Song for me every day. But a man promise a job of foreign. Them a look about paperwork and everything. Even visa and passport.
What's she going up there to do? Who she going to stay with? You going to get a number for her that you can contact her?
When I ask the man, him says stop her myself.
I don't like the sound of this, Michelle. Might not take them one, take away your picnic. You ever hear about human trafficking?
Trafficking?
Or trafficking in persons, the same thing. Why you watch that video here? See if is it them go and do with Shana.
Alright.
But I'm afraid to die.
Trafficking in persons by law is a criminal offense. Those who perpetrate this crime usually do so in unsuspecting ways. It could be a friendly invitation to another part of the island or another country, or even through enticing job offers. Persons who get caught up in this web aren't necessarily naive individuals, but human traffickers are sophisticated criminals who put a lot of thought into disguising their nefarious intents.
Not all persons who promise job, etc. overseas after graduation can deliver or plan to deliver. So what they do is lure them into thinking that there's a better life somewhere else. And persons will respond to it. What they'll do is that they pay the ticket and they'll invite you up. Once you're there, they take your passports and then you're placed in servitude.
It is at this helpless stage that victims are forced into unpaid labor or prostitution. The best way to get out of these situations is not to enter them in the first place, so the authorities are cautioning persons to be more vigilant.
You are not supposed to be able to get a visa without your attending or that your parents, if you're a minor, right? So nobody is supposed to be able to legitimately give you a passport with a valid visa without you having gone through that process.
Before you even reach that stage, you should try to get answers to some very important questions once an offer has been made to you. Ask, where am I going? Where will I be staying? Who will be responsible for me? And what do I tell my family?
If you cannot give that information out of this encounter that you're offered, if you cannot give that information that can be checked, then you ought not to take it on.
I don't know where I am. They've taken all that I had.
Doreen, I'm glad you showed me this video. It made me want to ask man more questions because I can't let them take Sean. I don't know where she gone.
I'm glad you understand the signs of trafficking in persons. But keep watching more information in the program.
Statistics across the world have revealed that women and children are more vulnerable to human trafficking. However,
we see young bright males, young bright females, university graduates. We have people from difficult circumstances, people in the main who have been tricked, so it varies.
I also think any person who doesn't have sufficient information so that they can assess an offer that is being made to them is vulnerable as well.
To protect all its citizens, the government has intensified its public awareness campaign. Persons are being given information to guard themselves and others against this crime.
We're going to be giving out some business card size facts on trafficking to the workers in the sector who would be exposed: customs, immigration, the police. So at a moment you get into your pocket and you have the facts, you know, is this what I'm seeing?
We can identify persons being trafficked by certain behaviors being displayed. A person behaving unusually timid is one of the classic signs of someone being trafficked.
Persons who are leaning onto this adult, you know, not like a parent-child kind of arrangement, but almost like, it's almost like you're kidnapped, but you are afraid to let anybody know that this is your situation. And we have to look out for those people who are moving around with no confidence.
I like when the government send out information to the people. It's stuck in my head. From now on, I'm not taking anything for granted. Thanks for showing me the video.
No problem, man. We have to share information. This is one way of ending the cycle.
This information-based strategy by the government is a cooperative approach with citizens that seeks to preserve and enhance a secure and protective environment for all. Now that we have the information, let us use it to our advantage. Our main source of protection against the trafficking in persons is to be aware of the offense.
The Scientific Research Council is bringing reliable, accurate, and efficient analytical testing services to you. Investors, manufacturers, and service operators, protect yourself and consumers by ensuring that your product and environs are safe and secure. Come to us to test your food, cosmetics, potable and recreational water, environmental air quality, trade effluent, and to conduct shelf life studies for products. The SRC conducts on-site sampling, or you can submit your samples to our offices at Hope Gardens Complex, Kingston 6. The Analytical Services Department Laboratory is certified locally and
and internationally and is accredited ISO 17025. For more information, visit our office or send an email to prinfo@src-jamaica.org or call us at 927-1771-4. The Scientific Research Council, making science, technology, and innovation work for you.
The Christmas period is called the silly season, maybe because we do things at times without thinking it through. We see this a lot in the behavior of motorists and the number of road crashes. But one of the few good things in all this is that when injuries occur and there is a need for blood, the blood bank is there working to ensure a safe supply is available.
As long as man is around to get sick or injured, blood will remain a high-demand substance for health practitioners. But for all its wonderful properties, the life-saving bodily fluid could become a death sentence if not handled properly. For those who need their supplies boosted, health workers cannot simply hook up a needle and feed the red and white cells from another individual straight to the needy bloodstream.
It's not just a simple matter of collecting blood, finding out what the group is, and then passing it on to the recipient. There are lots of other things that go into providing safe blood.
Think of blood like a home. Certain fundamental things like walls, floors, and ceilings are common to all, but the little things you put in over the years and experiences you have within those spaces make each unique to its owner. Like your home, blood can change owners, but you have to make some adjustments to have it meet the needs of the new recipient. That is what the technicians and health workers have to do before blood that is donated can be passed on to someone in need. The first step is to screen the donor to determine their medical history and suitability to donate.
The screening is aimed at 1, protecting the donor, and 2, protecting the potential recipient.
After that, it's a matter of sterilizing the donor's arm and proceeding to draw the blood. From there, the blood is taken to the lab, where it goes through a series of tests. Technicians look for things like blood groupings such as A, B, O, and RH types, antibodies in the red blood cells, venereal diseases such as syphilis, HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, hepatitis B and C, which affect the liver, and HTLV, human T-cell lymphotropic virus type 1 and 2, a virus that weakens the immune system. At the island's blood bank, the National Blood Transfusion Service, tests such as these are carried out daily. For each unit of blood drawn, 2 sample tubes are also collected. These are referred to as the red and purple top. For accuracy, data on the tubes must correspond with the main bag. The purple top sample is used to screen for antibodies and blood groupings. Blood grouping is just as important as the infectious screening. This ensures compatibility for the recipients, that is, people of the same blood group receiving the same blood type.
We do our ABO grouping here at the blood bank using the Diamed system. This technology is a gel system. It has microtubules, otherwise we call it as wells, and it has our antisera already in these wells.
A drop of the donor blood is placed into each of these wells. It is incubated and put in a machine that spins the substance at a high speed. After this process, a reading is given.
This is an example of a blood group. We can read it macroscopically. This is reading O negative based on the cells that are seen here.
In VDRL testing, which checks for syphilis, a small amount of the serum or the white part of the blood is dropped into a tube and then incubated at 56 degrees Celsius. After 30 minutes, it is taken from the incubator, placed on a slide, mixed with an antigen, and then rotated at 180 degrees for 4 minutes. The slide is then placed under a microscope for reading. A positive sample for syphilis would show signs of lumps or flocculation. Samples from the main lab are taken over here for the human immunodeficiency virus HIV screening, as well as the human T-cell lymphotropic virus HTLV and hepatitis B and C screenings. The different reagents or chemical compound for each of these viruses are added to the blood samples and placed in this machine. The reagent will cause a color change to the sample, indicating a positive reading.
Basically, it interprets this color change to a numerical value, which we can quantitate. Either if it's positive, it tells us the degree of positivity based on the numerical value, and if it's negative, we also get a numerical value, but we also have a cutoff value which can tell us whether it's negative or positive.
Whole blood is never administered as part of safety measures. The whole blood is separated into components: red blood cells or packed cells, plasma, or white cells.
If you had a patient who was anemic, who is in heart failure, and you gave whole blood, you're giving that person a lot of plasma unnecessarily. They really need the packed cells component. Not only is it unnecessary, but you put them at added risk of making the heart failure worse. So it is important to give just the component that is required.
And the safety procedure doesn't end there. A cross-matching process is also done to identify minor blood groups that might interfere with a successful transfusion process. But once all the tests are done to satisfaction and the separation process is completed, you can rest assured that the blood to be administered is safe.
On our roads, remember, take time, be courteous, drive good, walk good. Part of keeping our roads safe is ensuring the vehicles we drive are mechanically safe, meeting all roadworthy requirements. And besides that, we must be good drivers and avoid risk-taking and sensation-seeking behaviors which are prone to causing road crashes.
That's all the time we have for you today, but another program comes your way tomorrow. Until then, click on our website, jis.gov.jm, to stay connected. And while you're online, send your feedback to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or a tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.